Hey. Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing? Thank you all. Welcome to the chat. How is it going, everybody?
Great. It's a busy week. It's a busy week already, and we're just on what, Monday? We're just on Monday, and this I'm ready for it to be Friday already. Honestly.
Well, I'm excited. I know that y'all, both you and Chanel, had great weekends. Chanel celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday to you!
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Will, you were nominated for an award?
Oh yeah, I was nominated for what was it, for the Hampton Roads Encore Awards.
Yes.
Congratulations!
Thank you for Best Hairstylist and Best Salon.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing. All right.
Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me, because there's some stuff I'm supposed to do today. I forgot to do it. So thank you for reminding me. I'll get to it after the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my birthday weekend this weekend coming up.
Oh, this weekend?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm, the 21st.
The 21st? Mm-hmm. Oh, my little niece, her birthday is this weekend, on the 19th.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was on the Sunday, but I mean, it's not like I'm going anywhere in the pandemic.
Right. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Go ahead and start sharing. Hello, LaRon. If you all could go ahead and let us know where you're tuning in from, that would be amazing. We have so many interesting, great, juicy topics to share with you all today. I am super hyped, excited. I need y'all to feed off my energy because I'm here and I'm ready. And it's just a lot. It's a lot to talk about because people people just cutting up and they just I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so they out here just really they wilding out and things are getting shut down and people are doing investigations and people apologizing for the bullshit.
Number one.
So that was my first curse word.
Oh no, are we counting curse words now? Oh no.
She has a viewer who's counting curse words for her.
I'm allowed to.
You're good.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Thanks for joining, Kim. Thanks for tuning in from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Thank you so much. Make sure you all continue to share. We are about 125 people, 125 followers from having 8,000. I am super stoked about that. So all y'all got to do is keep on following, keep on sharing, keep on liking. Get your friends, family, and brothers, cousins, whoever to join, to like the chat. And we will get to our goal of 125 before the season ends. All right. Thanks for joining, Janet. Thanks for joining, Shelly. All right, let's just get right on into it. So,
all right.
Like this weekend, it has just been this. It's been piling up. So the gentleman who was the basketball commentator who thought his mic was cut off and talking to his side person and called the basketball team effing the N-word and he thought his mic was off, and then after all this and he makes an apology, which I'm totally over these people saying stuff and doing stuff and then put these apologies out there. He said that the only reason why he said that is because he is a diabetic. His sugar levels had spiked. And when his sugar levels spike, it makes him just blurt out random things. I was like, if you know what, damn it. Okay, that was 2. But you know, I was like,
I think that was 3 when you said damn it.
I was like, stop it. Then, if that wasn't enough, then we had the 5 teachers. I'm not sure, I can't remember, they were out of, who decided that they wanted to spell raccoons, but somehow didn't have enough letter and then spelled out coons, and then said they didn't know. They didn't know that was a racial slur, and they were really trying to shorten it for raccoons. Then we had the other coach, the basketball coach, who told his players that he needed them to stay on the plantation. He needed 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and some of the players needed to stay in the plantation, while other people said that, but he needed some to stay in the plantation. Then he came out and apologized. So my thing is
this because Black History Month just ended?
Are they cutting up because it's March?
They said it's St. Patrick's Day. We gotta show out.
I don't know what is really going on, but all I know is I am sick of the damn apologies. I'm sick of these people thinking it's okay. Like the harm is already done. The harm is already done. What are you apologizing for? So my question or my thoughts are this: Is it as they say, ignorance is bliss? Like, are these people just really happy not knowing, happy at being ignorant, happy at saying they didn't know? Or is this just like you really meant that? Like, to me, I feel like you mean this. And then when you called out or when you got called out, you know, it's like, okay, that's not what I really meant. It was insensitive, you know, and I don't even know if it's really that they send this insensitive. It's just like, I'm sorry. But what are you sorry for? Are you sorry because people heard you?
Yeah,
they saw they got caught.
Yeah,
it's not. Do you think that it's a matter of people just wanting to be ignorant, happy at being ignorant? Do y'all think, like with the Coons situation, they was like, we didn't have an R, an A, and a C, but you found a S. Like, you got an S. Like, raccoon is raccoon. Like, the same way you did that S is the same way you could have made the other 3 letters, because when I think of coon, I don't think of raccoons. I'm sorry. Like, that is not a short version of raccoons for me.
They couldn't afford some consonants?
Neither is it for me. Like, coon is not in my vocabulary.
No, exactly. I'm just trying to think.
No, I mean, I'd only be okay with it if it was a photo of raccoons and it said a pair of coons were found, you know, rummaging through a local sheriff's track. Okay, got it. You know, we know what you're talking about. But, you know, the fact that they apologized to me shows what they really mean. That's it. Like, they probably thought it was a funny double entendre.
Yeah.
Right. And then on top of the fact, it's 5 of y'all. So 5, out of the 5, nobody thought this. I don't think this is right. Like, I don't.
Right.
Like,
I think it was more egregious for the announcer, because the fact that he said that the N-word and thought his mic was off, and then he tried to blame a sugar spike. And I've seen people who are diabetics. They don't just blurt out random N-words. And they're black too.
What they do though, when their sugar is either high, you know, they do have some degree of mental impairment sometimes, but they still not going to deviate from what's really inside.
Yeah,
so
they're not going to make up any words.
conversation.
Yeah,
he had a whole conversation.
Yeah.
They had a whole conversation leading up to like who the team was, that they were kneeling. Like, it was a whole conversation. So at what point did your sugar spike? Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Like,
he blamed it on that, but he know he was. He just thought that his mic was off. That's all that was.
Yeah, he said what he meant. He meant what the hell he said. Okay,
exactly.
Right. Maybe
it had to be common dialogue for the other person to sit there and be comfortable. So they had to be something that was, you know, it was just exposed this time. You know, it had to be something that was comfortably shared between the two of them at some point.
Right.
or it wouldn't have been allowed. Like you said, Shanika, somebody would say, this don't sound like it should be something that we should be discussing here now. Nobody's saying any of that, so yeah.
Right. And I think, it's so funny. Okay, I'll wait because I got something to say, but okay, I'll wait. But y'all, I'm just these people, and then we're gonna offer up these apologies after the fact is like just really teeing me off, because I'm like, think about it, like think about the things that you're saying. And I just think that with so much things, so many different things in the news and people getting canceled and things are happening, I just think that you should be a little bit more aware of things that you're saying and doing. Just because of the times that we're in, just because of, the George Floyd, the Breonna Taylors, all of these situations that are happening, I just think that you need to be a little bit more mindful of the things that you're putting out there and that you're saying and thinking about how is that going to cost? Because even how an analogy of a plantation in a basketball game, like, okay, it's called stay in the paint. Like you couldn't say stay in the paint or stay on the floor. You had to say stay on the plantation.
Right. That's an extra word. Like that's harder to say than the regular term. That's it.
Right.
Because I definitely feel like they're just reaching to try and come up with an apology. And to me, it's too late. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't really affect me, right? I wasn't on the court, but it affects me because I know they know better. So they did it on purpose. And then, it's like that thing where they faint, I think it was a story about a guy, he said the N-word to his good coworker, and then he pretended to faint. And then he just went, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't remember saying anything. It's just like, no, you knew what you said. You just had a moment. I think it's a slip up, right? But it's a racist slip up. So I'm not saying it's okay. It was probably accidental, meaning he didn't think anyone would hear it. Right. But it was he meant it, I've said things that I mean on accident. You know what I mean?
Right.
You ever said something you were thinking out loud?
You feel that way. The problem is that is inside of you. So right. I mean, he didn't mean to say it, but he still feels that we're ends. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like he didn't mean to say it, but he meant to say it. You know what I'm saying? One of these type of things. Like I didn't mean to say it out loud. Right now,
but I didn't mean for you to hear.
I didn't mean for you to hear.
I didn't mean for you to hear that. I'm sorry.
Right. But and also I wanted to ask, like, what is our call of action? Is there a call of action? That's what I want to say. Is there really a call of action? Is it just okay? These people lose their jobs, they're able to say apologies, and we move on. Like, is there really a call of action of like, do we cancel these people? And like, how to what extent do we cancel them? Is it do we go and look and say,
I think at this point it's just like a lost cause. Like I don't know if we're ever gonna, because you have people in new generations that are taught by their forefathers, their grandparents, and their parents that have the same attitude. I just don't think it's going anywhere, and I think that we can put our efforts elsewhere. I just don't think it's going anywhere. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right. I think Shanika. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Leah says Dorothy Williams. They're talking about the N-word with the announcer was that in Oklahoma. Okay. Oh, they and then they apologized to state employed. Yeah, but I'm over that. I'm over that. The whole let me apologize because I really didn't know, but.
Yeah, I think people should be fine. I mean, we got to hold people accountable. The problem is that we can't really do anything unless we're directly above them, right? We could pressure, we could boycott. I think we should just stay consistent. People complain about cancel culture and political correctness, and then they don't get punished. So, it's either real or it's not. You know what I mean? If everyone's going to say that it's too politically correct now, then either we let them say the N-word on TV, or we tell them to stop. I think it's fine to tell them not to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this topic you did, Shanika, this really spills over into a topic that I want to talk about. Again, possible cancel culture, because I guess they're still updating the situation, but the talk could be facing being canceled because of the situation with Sharon Osbourne and Cheryl Underwood. The interview that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had with Oprah when Meghan had cited that because of the tension and the stress in the palace, that she thought about suicide. Well, her friend, which is Piers Morgan, everybody knows who he is. He said basically that he didn't believe her, which started this whole big thing about cancel him, and he actually did get basically he left his TV show over there in the UK. Well, on the show there was a confrontation, which to me I'm kind of torn between it. Cheryl had basically asked Sharon how does she respond to the viewers, because Sharon was very vocal that she supported Piers, and she was saying she was standing up for his freedom of speech and basically saying that she lied. So Sharon was saying, well, how do you respond to the viewers who feel that you supporting him in his belief is racist? And everything went downhill from there. It was like a heated exchange. They had to beep out a lot of words that Sharon used, and basically, it was a lot of tension. So as a result of that, they have not had any live shows this starting today. They're not going to have any live shows through Wednesday while CBS does an investigation. So it's a little more background information. Sharon came out and she said that she faults the station, CBS, the network, because she's saying that basically, like we do, we go over our topics for the shows that was never brought up. She said when Cheryl asked her the question, Cheryl actually had questions, which I don't know. Cheryl actually had questions that were written down as if it was something that was planned, but she was left out of it, basically for that shock effect. And, she just said that, she apologized. She didn't apologize to Cheryl, but that basically, she's still growing and she's learning X, Y, Z. So my whole thing, I want to ask you guys, when you have a friend, which I'm sure we all do, you have a friend that does not necessarily share your beliefs, or you don't share their beliefs. Do you, if there's some type of issue, do you come to their defense, or is that something that you step out, you stay out of? I've been in situations where it's a lot of people I don't support their beliefs. I don't believe what they say. A lot of people, I've had friends tell me, I love you, but I don't love your lifestyle. Bitch, what does that mean? I'm like, where they do that at? So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard stuff like that, and I can support you, but I don't support you. How do y'all deal with situations where it's a friend who does not necessarily, you don't support their beliefs, but do you stand up for them? Do you defend them, or is that something that you bow out of?
For me, I could go real fast, immediate to my really good friend. He actually passed away back in September, so that was a really tough moment for me. His name was Sean, and he was always on the other side of my beliefs. I could tell you literally like anything. Our Facebook arguments were like legendary for our friend group, basically. But I would defend him because I knew him personally. I knew him that well. I'm like, I know why he's saying it. I disagree. He disagreed. We didn't call each other names. We love to disagree with each other to an extent. And at one point we got into an argument on a different group that neither of us were moderating. And I had to talk to the moderators. They wanted to kick him out. They wanted everyone to block him. And I said, I didn't join this group to be a part of an echo chamber. This man who is my friend has a totally different viewpoint and belief system because of his background. And you all don't want to hear it because you think that you have some kind of moral high ground here. And it wasn't like anything, it wasn't even anything that was like normally controversial in terms of mainstream. But they were like, nope, this isn't what we talk about in this kind of group. And I'm all like, well, if that's not what you talk about, what do you talk about? Yeah. Like, we could have this conversation. And if we are able to educate him, then we should go for it. And if he if he refuses to see it, it's not like he's going to do anything to us. This is Facebook.
Right.
And you know what? To add to that, Holly Robinson Peete who was one of the original co-hosts. She came out and she said that basically Sharon had her fired because she complained that she was too ghetto. I've heard stories about Sharon. A lot of people. Sharon's been there. To me, I think actually Sharon's one of the weakest links on the show. But her name and her money, I'm sure, keeps her there. But right. I don't know. I don't know. Well, how do you feel about it, Shanika?
Let me just say this. Let me just read a quote. Read a statement that Piers Morgan said, which to me, I just still think that, like, even in this, even though he didn't say, like, he didn't come out, but I'll read it and then I'll let you make your own judgment. When stuff like that happens, true friends run towards you, fake friends run away. I love Shannon Osborne because she always stays true to herself. She knew she would get abused by the woke brigade for tweeting this, but it did it anyway because it's what she believes. Okay, so first of all, I have a problem because he's like the woke brigade. So when you talk, this became new, so when you're talking about the people that are staying woke, to me, you've already called out Black people because that's who we're the ones who say that. We're the ones who are putting it out there like
we're watching.
Stay woke. Right, stay woke. So to me, even though you didn't come right out and be like, okay, you didn't say the N-word, you said the woke brigade. So it's still you're still being racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a t-shirt. I'm gonna get a t-shirt with that. I like that.
The woke brigade. I mean, first off, that just shows that she didn't regret what she said until there was backlash. She knew what she wanted to say and she went for it. And to me, it's the apology that really is telling. Because she was like, I just didn't. I was blindsided. And it's like, so when you're blindsided, you go to racism. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, that doesn't make you
like educate me at 80-something years old. We need to educate for racism.
But even if you're blindsided, your viewpoint is still your viewpoint. Stand by it.
Yeah. Right.
Just stand by it.
But the other thing that she said to Cheryl, that Sharon said to Cheryl, was that her statement was, she made a statement. She said, she told Cheryl to explain. I will ask you again, Cheryl. I was asking you during the break, and I'm asking you again. And don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me. And she raised her voice. So my thing is, like, you was already saying, like, okay, like, don't do it. Like, you was already trying it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You like, and don't cry. Like, it's like we playing. Like you playing like don't be the you don't want us to be the victim, but that's what y'all. Okay, I hate to say that's what y'all do, but that's what y'all do.
Justin and I just had like a heated exchange about this. What was wrong? Like he thinks Cheryl was wrong. He thinks the show should be canceled. What was so wrong with her asking the question? Do you think it was a wrong question to ask?
No, because Cheryl said, I'm sorry, Chanel. Go ahead.
I'm thinking that maybe she feel like, Sharon is also British, and maybe she feel like it was done underhanded because they do discuss topics. So maybe Cheryl was like, Sharon was like, why didn't we discuss this one? Is it because, British?
They didn't say they were going to touch on it, but prime example, how our topics do Friday, even though, we get them in Friday-ish, come around that time. Like today, Amir popped up about the Kirk Franklin situation. We were like, oh, okay, that was like a last-minute thing. Probably we didn't have a lot of time if you hadn't heard about it to research it, but we had some idea that it may be brought up during the show. Right. So I'm thinking that's probably what had happened.
But she said that she said that ask her backstage, can we talk to you about this? And she said yes. She said in the 11 years that they've been on air, that this was the first time that they never asked her about it, talking about a topic. And I was like, cut it out.
And I'm telling you, you guys, I feel like she feels railroaded because it was a British issue, and I feel it in my bones. And honestly, if it were me, if I was Cheryl, I would have made sure that I talked to her about it just because of the closeness of the situation. I just would have done that. Well, it's like a hometown kind of thing, that's close. I would have been like, we're talking about,
right. I don't believe Sharon. I don't believe that they didn't tell her about it. I'm just going to be straight up.
You don't?
Yeah, I know she knew about it.
If they did not,
I don't understand what was wrong with the question. What was wrong with the question?
Because she did. It was a simple question, and what Cheryl was,
she was asked wrong.
Right, because Sharon was saying basically like you're trying to make everybody believe that because I associate with Pierce that I'm racist. And she's like, I am not racist. I don't believe what he believes. I don't agree with what he was saying. but he's still my friend.
Mhm.
And because he's my friend, I am going to support what he was saying. But
No, y'all
But-
know Cheryl Underwood.
Mhm.
but
I think
But
Cheryl probably knew Sharon's stance and probably knew that it was going to be a little controversy, which it was
Well,
great.
but what topic isn't? What topic isn't when you're talking about race? What topic is not controversy when you're talking about race? Because my
Right.
thing is, you know how, I mean, like, there's plenty of times when Cheryl could have been, you know, George Floyd, like all of the Breonna Taylor, and people are not going to always agree. People are going to be like, oh, well, she, you know, have stuff to say about Breonna Taylor, have stuff to say about George. Oh, well, he shouldn't have gave a fake $20 bill, or maybe he wouldn't be in this situation. I mean, people have stuff to say. So my thing is, when it comes down to your culture is no different. Your culture is
Right.
no different when you sitting in a hot seat. You can't talk about
That's
just
right. Well, that's
when they in the
right.
hot seat, and
That
then
comes with
you know
pride.
because the Britain people in the hot seat, we can't talk about that. No, you need to take the heat like we take the heat for all the good bad, and indifferent when it comes to our culture. Like you can't, and then you got to be ready to take it. You got to be ready to hear it out, and whether you're learning or whether you're not learning. But I will say that Cheryl said it was a blessing for her. It was a blessing because she got the opportunity to address Sharon and not be loud and not be ignorant about it and not come across as the angry Black woman, because she said everywhere we go, we still have to carry us being Black. That's what she said. So she said she felt like it was a blessing because she was able to hold her composure, sit there, even while Sharon was being all loud and taking it all over with, she was still able to hold her composure and sit there and not be the angry Black woman.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And Michelle
No,
said that Sharon couldn't handle the truth. She couldn't. Sharon couldn't handle the truth.
No,
Do you
not
think
at all.
they'll cancel the show?
Say
You
that
think
again?
the show should be
Do you think
canceled?
they'll cancel the show?
No,
think
I
they'll-
think
Because they're
I think you should
discussing
cancel it.
they're discussing well, and this was just speculation, either Sharon paying her contract out, which is I think $5 million, and then replacing her, or canceling the show. I think
I
the
don't
ratings
think-
have gone down since they added these two new people who I don't know who they are.
Me neither. Who are they?
I'm not really enjoying the show. I don't even really. I used to tune in every day. I don't even really tune in because to me, Sharon's the most intriguing one on the show now. I'm not Sharon, Cheryl.
Cheryl, yeah.
Yeah,
Dang.
Carrie Ann on
I don't even watch it. I don't care.
I don't need. We have some comments. So let's see. Kia said Sharon responded in a way totally uncalled for. If Cheryl responded in that manner, Cheryl would have been labeled as the angry Black woman. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Shelly said she's like, absolutely. Hey, mama. Okay. Justin said yes, Chanel. Shelly said, I started to bring it up during the first topic. Getting caught is what people are apologizing for. All right. You got a buyer for your shirt, the woke brigade.
I'm gonna use it with my cricket. I still haven't used it yet. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Fabian says that was a hot topic. She knew it was going to be discussed. Because everybody was discussing it, Fabian. It wouldn't even make sense to discuss it. Everybody was discussing it. We still discussing it. Okay. Dorothy said Sharon knew what was going to be discussed. She thought that someone was going to sit there and stroke her ego. Wrong. And then Chris says, white supremacy will always be white supremacy.
Yep, that's
Sharon
true.
could be fired. Sharon needs to be held accountable. Like, perfect example. They say what they want to say, but we stroke them in their wrongness. Yeah, I just feel like it all needs to be addressed. It all needs to be addressed.
Yeah. I think the twist of it, though, I know it was a hot topic. It was going to be discussed, but I think the twist of it, though, and what made it personal was that the fire that's under Pierce right now and the connection between
is it me
him
or
and
is Chanel? Are you breaking? Is she freezing a little bit?
Her audio's a little something.
Okay. So we didn't hear anything you just said, though.
Oh, you didn't?
No, it was freezing a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, I heard what you said. I think, I think at this point, I think they should address it on the show And then they should just cancel the show and move on. Because I don't care about that show.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Well, in talking about disputes, I don't know if you guys follow Growing Up Hip Hop with like Da Brat, Jermaine Dupri, Bow Wow. Well, recently the Brat and Bow Wow had a little dispute, well, a sizable dispute, because he's planning on releasing an album, like a tell-all album that basically highlights his partners. So my thing is, the Brat was like, no, that is not okay. It is not okay to, put these people out there. They didn't get with you to be put out there.
Right.
So my thing is, he's like, no, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna do this album. That's my life. Those people I've been with. So my thing is, kissing and telling, like, who does that? Is it okay? She's like, no, don't do it. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to do it. What do you guys think?
Now, what I'll say is that he is definitely not the first person ever to kiss and tell and write a whole book about it. So I think, just off of morality, I don't see it as necessarily a bad thing, just in the grand schemes of the culture. But I think personally, I don't give a damn who Bow Wow has slept with. I do not care. What? I don't. Goodness. Well, what do you think?
I mean, to me, that's just a sign of immaturity. I don't know if he's doing it for attention, but I don't.
He's got to be doing it.
I talk about sex a lot, but I don't ever mention no names. You'll never see me pull out a book. So, I think it's I'm like, I could care less. Well, I could halfway care less. I'd be curious to see, hear about it.
Right. He could have slept with some very high profile people.
I'd be more interested in pictures or videos if he has that. That would intrigue me. Hearing him.
See that covered.
I'm just being serious. Okay.
Right. I know that's right. I want to see what the list is all about. I want to see what the list is like.
So my question, Chanel, who would be like, if you were like, no way, who would be the most shocking revelation for Bow Wow to have had a relation with? What's the word? The Jada Pinkett entanglement?
Entanglement, right?
J-Lo. Somebody like J-Lo. Somebody way above his pay grade.
Yeah, somebody higher profile, above the video kind of thing.
Yeah.
Man,
give me somebody. I'm like, where would you do that?
15 years ago, remember when Bow Wow was actually really famous? That's crazy. That's like somebody more high profile than him after all that time. Oh,
Justin!
Oh, okay, that's juicy. Can we can bring that up, right?
No.
Now I'm just saying that's juicy, right?
Ooh, Justin said, is he going to talk about the dudes he been with?
Yeah.
No. Okay, now I feel like sharing. I'm feeling like sharing. I see how y'all.
You feel like sharing.
Okay,
I think it's important, if he did talk about that.
Even though y'all are talking about, I don't even think it's really the the Brat was like, that's kind of messy in him to do that. But you know what? Let's just kind of switch over to the Brat, because Mary Green said the Brat. But I think that the situation that she's in, like, it just makes me nervous. Even the situation that she's in with Judy, like, I just get nervous about that, because I think that Judy is taking her to levels that she wasn't really. I don't know all of a sudden why she's like, okay, I'm ready to just be out front with it. Like, I don't know if there's something about her that's allowing her, but I just think that, even with the Brat, I think it's at the end that's going to be a messy situation between the Brat and Judy. I really do.
I think so too. I thought I was the only one. Everybody's like loving this love story, and I'm on edge.
Yeah, I am too. I just don't see that
going down.
Yeah, I don't see that going well at all. But I don't know. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. So what else is going on?
All right, Amir.
Yeah, I think you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead. With celebrities, I think this is perfect for a segue for the big news that happened like just over the weekend. Kirk Franklin and his son his son recorded the argument that they had. Now, I mean, I don't know about you. I wasn't following Kurt Franklin like that. I mean, you know, I know who he is. He's a big name. But when I heard that audio of him cursing out his son and telling him he was going to break his neck and shove his foot up his ass, I was like, whoa, Kirk Franklin. I just imagining the visual, like as Will said, we need some pics and videos.
Yeah.
I started laughing. But you know, this has turned into a large generational argument. A lot of people now are saying these kids these days do not respect their parents, and that Kirk is all the way right. He could curse his son out all he wants because that was not a good move for his son to record that and put it on there.
The audio was not of God. But listen, I feel like if you have to talk to your adult child that's 30, like that, it's you're no longer my if I have to talk to you like this, it's like you somebody on the streets. Like if I have to talk to you like that, like I'm gonna break your neck and I'm gonna break my foot off in your tail, you are like somebody on the street. Like I just don't. If it's got to come to that, that's something like and it, to me it shows the immaturity that you had to record it and put it out there. Like why? So let's see. Asia says that is a grown man having a conversation with another grown man. Exactly. Derek says you have to know you are being recorded every time you are on the phone. Well, I feel like that too. That's why I feel like I don't purposely go out to be doing stuff because I just feel like somebody got a camera up recording something and I feel like I'm gonna be on YouTube somewhere.
Oh yeah, like, especially as a celebrity. And I don't know if you heard, but it sounded like somebody was laughing at Kirk in the background. Or was I going crazy? I just was kind of like,
yeah, I heard some laughing too, but I don't know if that
was something in the background.
Yeah, because I was just like, what was going on here? And we didn't get the full message. And so it moves on because honestly, I didn't know about this damn recording. I mean, who's his son anyway? I don't know his son. I don't even know his name after finding out about this whole issue.
Right.
And I think Kirk apologizing for the audio is really what set off the argument because a lot of people were like, apology?
You know, like why are you apologizing? Like,
I think because of what he's supposed to represent, and so many people hope when it came faith-based to a higher, echelon, think that he's supposed to be perfect. Same thing with pastors. You know, I've made the mistake of getting close to a lot of my spiritual leaders. Same shit I do. So, I'm not blinded by just because you have a minister, a reverend, a pastor, or whatever, but in front of your name. But a lot of people still think that he's perfect. He doesn't do anything. Yeah. Right. Well, we only heard that part of the conversation, so we don't know what got him there. I can get there too, today. So, it depends. I don't know. They were saying that he said some other things that Kurt tried to call, I think, TD Jakes and all this stuff. But the son only released the part that he wanted the people to hear.
Right. And I don't know if you heard, but his daughter, Kennedy, released the statement.
I saw that.
Really? What did she say? Yeah.
She basically had a lot to say too. Her father's defense. She said, her brother is mad. He's in his feelings that he's 33 years old. He's done nothing with his life. He has nothing, and basically don't be mad. And dad's a good dad, and get what you get.
Right. I mean, it's called tough love, and sometimes tough love don't come like, son, it's time for you to get your things together. It's time for you to get your life together. You're too old. Tough love don't come like that. Tough love come. I'm gonna break my foot off in your ass if you don't ever get.
Right. I think it's important when they talk. I mean, some of these comments talking about it, like that is a grown man having a conversation with another grown man, and I think that's important to acknowledge because he's 33. Like, I mean,
Kid said private conversation between a father and a son. Kurt laid words, and I lay hands. Next.
I bet you Kirk wished he could reach through the phone.
To be honest, I think that people people are getting tired of their grown adult children not doing what they're supposed to. People are getting, and then it's like they're becoming more and more disrespectful. It's like you don't want to do anything. You want to sit around, you want to lay around, and then you want to talk smart. Like you don't have a job, you don't have a car, you don't have any type of direction. And then when somebody's trying to help you out and give you some type of direction, you want to talk smart. Like you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and you definitely don't have room to be trying to be smart. So like, no, like stop it. I think that people are getting sick of their adult children, and then you have to find your way back in my house, and then you want to regulate what's going on in my house. No, absolutely not. No. So I don't know why he apologized. I don't feel like it was necessary for him to apologize, even if he's a man of the cloth. I just don't think that it was necessary for him to apologize. Because I
agree 100%.
I definitely agree, and I think at this point, he's grown. They're both grown. If he's gonna curse him out, I'm not sitting there shocked. We don't know the whole story, right? Like, right. I think it would be different if his son was a lot younger. If his son was like middle school age, I'd be like, dang, like why he curse him out like that? Like what happened? And then also I wouldn't be surprised that his middle school son posted it on TikTok. You know what I mean? But 33, I'm kind of like, what were you trying to prove, right? I can't even imagine what he shoot, my parents cursed me out. I'm not about to post that for everybody to see. Definitely not. That would make me. I think that would be embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't feel any type of way about him doing that, and so yeah, nah. Yeah.
Right. So, do you guys think that it's true? Like the new generation are more disrespectful than previous generations have been?
Absolutely.
Now, the reason I say it, it sounds crazy when I say it, but there's a reason why I could say kids have been disrespecting parents since biblical times, and I know that because the Bible tells you not to do it. Mm-hmm. You don't just make up rules for no reason.
Kids nowadays, they have a lot of rights, and they know it. Back in my day, I heard about rights, and I didn't believe I had none because it didn't look like I had none. Now, you're taught that they can't do this, they can't do that. They feel like they're equal.
I think that 30-year-old generation was a generation where they started with the you can't hit your kids. It's called child abuse. Call the hotline. Yeah. Tell somebody at school your parents shouldn't be hitting on you. If they raise their voice too loud, everybody in your business, they didn't send child protective services to your house before you even got to the house. Right.
Yeah.
So my question is, what should parents do? I mean, obviously, in this case, Kirk Franklin's child is 33. It's not a child no more. But what should parents do now with these new Generation Z kids who are going to be more disrespectful than millennials? I mean, I'm only assuming it's going to get worse, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what they're gonna do. I know what I do.
What did you do, Chanel? Remember, you're on air.
Yeah. Remember, this is a recorded line.
Yeah.
Let's just say I don't have them problems.
Okay.
With your children? Are we talking about your kids?
Yeah. With my children.
I don't have. And my daughter, like I said, my daughter is 22, and I feel like I've always given her opportunity to speak her mind, but she's never gotten like I don't never feel like she would try to buck up to me. Like I don't ever feel like she would try to buck, or that she was like talk crazy to me and her dad, or none of that. I don't feel like she would ever try to do that. And her dad is way more. He's laid back, and he will get upset, but I have to get upset first. Like once I get upset, then he's upset. But like I don't feel like I would ever have those problems out of my daughter that she gonna talk slick. No. What they say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Like, no.
Yeah, I think that's important. Don't bite the hand that feeds. I'm wondering, like, to me, it's definitely a thin line. I think it's part of that helicopter parent thing that started happening several decades ago. And now I think people don't really know that line to cross between being your friend, like the friends to the kids, and being an authoritarian figure. I think parents nowadays don't really know which one they should be. And I think it leads to people going the extreme route. Either they're extremely friendly I'll never hurt my kid, or it's the other way around. Like, I have to. It's the only thing that works.
Well, okay, so then let's just, I'm going to move into this other topic, and I didn't put it up there, but I mean, it kind of goes along the lines of kind of what we're talking about. It's a private school that's in New York, and I read up on it, and they were basically saying that they are no longer, for various reasons, they are no longer going to allow, they're trying to change up wording, or they're no longer going to be referring to to parents as mom and dad. They're going to be referring to them as our grown-ups, our family, or, and I'm like, wait, like, excuse me, like, wait, like, you're going to start all of a sudden changing the titles of what we've been known to call our mom and dad to.
So what is their rationale behind that?
Because the rationale was that because they are their families are different, they're different dynamics. So there's there's mother and mother, or father and father, or what, it's just it's different dynamics. So instead of being politically incorrect, if we just address them as your grown up or your family, and we don't give them names as mom or dad, or we don't say that, then it's like our way of staying out of trouble. But I'm just like, for me, a lot of things that are being canceled out is very confusing to me, because I'm just like, I don't like you. It's like, I've been knowing this way for 47 years of my life, and then you come in and we're gonna just wipe that all out. Like, we gonna just, like, I mean, and granted, I respect everybody's, if that's what you want, even to this, because sometimes I just get confused, and I just be like, well, what is your name? Because even when people are now I see when people, I get emails sometimes, and I see where people put pronouns he, him, and him, he and him, or she and her, and I'm like, wow, is that what we're doing now? Do we have to specify that that's what we want to, be addressed? But it's just like 47 years of my life, and now I'm having to reprogram myself to all of these new, like, okay, we canceled out Dr. Seuss and we're putting in this other stuff. And I'm like, I grew up on Dr. Seuss. Like, how you gonna just take him out? Like, or I grew up calling my mama mama and my daddy my daddy, and like, so now we're not doing that. Like, so what do y'all think about that? Like, is this what we have to look forward to?
I don't agree with it. I think whoever's idea is their attempt to not accept that we're becoming a little bit more liberal. There are households with two dads, and there are households with two moms, and there are households with neither a mom nor a dad. And I think that it's okay for kids to know that the relations of the makeup of their families. I mean, I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree. Not one bit.
I think they already have a word for it, in my opinion. It's sort of like gender neutral. They is a singular or plural, and that already existed. So it's like, as long as there were already words, for me, when I was growing up, the permission slip said parent or guardian. Right. That's it. You don't have to say grown-ups. That's just weird.
So why do we have to change? Like, that's what I think is, I was like, okay, so does parent not cover same-sex marriages? Like, I'm just confused. Like, does parent or guardian not cover that? Like, why do we have to change it to family or you're grown up? Like, what the hell? Like, you're grown up.
That goes to my answer.
Inclusive is a big word now. If you can't tell, so that everybody can feel inclusive.
Yes, and that's basically what the article ended up saying. Like, that's what, as finishing reading, they wanted everybody to feel inclusive. But it just, and I'm just like, but for 47 years of my life, I'm just like, I just can't.
You can't go back to 47 years. 47 years in your life, they were riding horses. We're not doing that no more. We're in cars.
I ain't never been in no.
Think about it this way. Think about it this way, you guys. So I know I have friends. And it's a same-sex couple. Is two women, and they have a daughter, and they have raised this daughter to be okay with having two moms. Mm-hmm. So this school-age girl is so okay with having two moms. Like, I can't imagine her, as happy as she is with having two moms, going to a school and they're telling her, oh, you can't say you have two moms now. You just got to call them parents, And I can hear her saying, no, I have two moms. No, you have parents. No, I have two moms. I can see that because I don't know.
No, I mean, I think that's it. At the end of the day, if the child says differently, the school could still get in trouble. So I do agree that being inclusive is important. So Shanika, for example, for 47 years of your life, you felt included. And now they're trying to include other people. So you're not being like, what's the word, left out by this. Although it's different, at least you're still included in the new version as well as the old.
I would never walk up. Okay, it will adjust it. Like I would still never walk up and be like, your dad's. I would just be like your parents. Like, I wouldn't say that. That's not something that I would say anyway, even to anybody. I would just be like your parents or your like even in conversation, your parents. Like I wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't feel like I would just be like, okay, well you have two, even though you have two dads or you have two moms or you have whatever. Like I would just be like your parents. I wouldn't be like, oh, you're grown-ups. Like I'm not going to call them they child to them. I'm not going to refer to them as his grown-ups or her grown-ups. Like that's silly. Like I'm not doing that. Like that's just crazy. Like I'm not gonna. I'm just be like your parents, or even maybe your dads. But I'm not gonna be like your grown-ups. Like that's just crazy. I'm not doing it.
It sounds weird.
Yeah, like this is It's like they have no title. They just some people that you live with. They don't really have no title. It's just some people that live with you. Like no.
Right. Fabian says, I think as we get older, people always notice the changes and differences. I can't imagine what my grandparents thought of my parents' generation. What did your parents think of your generation, Shanika? Well, like or Chanel, what did they think about your generation? And then apply that to how you feel about the next one.
Each generation is just becoming a little bit more progressive. I'm married to a millennial. And sometimes I see him, like today, I think he told me, Justin, he told me it was something we were going through. And I told him, I think you handled it wrong. He said, no, I just think it's your generation. You let people get over on you. Where he is like from 0 to 100 in a half a second. To me, yeah. And, I just think that, like for our wedding, my mom, she had a hard time getting grasped. She's cool with it now. But I can only imagine when we have kids, the things that they're going to do. I was telling them about what you told me today about, you said your generation, the millennial. Come explain this millennial foolishness that you guys have going on.
Welcome, fellow millennial.
As a black male, I think any officer who kills a black male should get the same punishment that we would get if we shoot them. So if I go shoot an officer, either I'm going to get life in prison or the death penalty. So I think if an officer shoot a black male unlawfully and it's not justified, he should either get two options, either the death penalty or life in prison. Because we always say ain't nobody above the law. If nobody's above the law, why are we getting jail for life in prison or the death penalty if we shoot an officer if nobody's above the law? But they can shoot us. So one of my coworkers said, well, they should just get 10 years in jail and everything taken from them. I said, but if I go shoot another black male, I'm still going to get life in prison and everything taken from me. So why, if a white officer killed a black male and you got a black son at that, you're going to say give him 10 years in jail and have his house and everything taken from him? That's stupid to me because it still showed them I can shoot you, get 10 years behind bars, and come back out into society and rebuild my family. So no, they should get life in prison or the death penalty, whatever their state allows. So we'll say I was wrong for that, but to me, for my generation, let's do them the same way they doing us.
Hallelujah.
I'm right there with you.
I think that there is some truth and some truth to that. Some, like, okay, some thoughtworthiness, if that's such a phrase, to that. But I think that, like what because Will and I are in like the same age group. It's like, I think that when Will and I think about it, it's like we think it through. Like we're going to think it through and then we'll respond. Whereas you hear it, y'all, to me, sometimes I feel like you're listed to respond. instead of listening
They
to
react. They're quick to react.
right. Versus if you just take your time and just listen to what was being said and just process it, because people get mad at me because it's like, okay, well, Shanika, are you gonna say anything? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm processing it because I don't want to think too quick. Like, I don't want to say something too quick and didn't think it all the way through, because I gotta first think about where you're coming from, what I would do, and the situation. And you got to give me all the facts. Like, my husband and my daughter hate it because when something happens, I was like, okay, how did they say it? What? Now tell me from the beginning. Like, what did they say? Like, when you said this, what did they say? And they like, Mama, like my daughter, Mama, like, I'm like, I need to know. Like, I need to understand what they meant malicious. Were they just saying it? What I'm trying to get the understanding. So I am not so quick to answer or respond back because I need to get the full understanding of what's happening. So I think the third generation is like, they don't care. They don't care at all. And it's just like, look, you said it, you hurt my feelings, you meant how you said it, and I'm on it, and I'm on it, and I'm on it. You can get fired, you can lose your job, you gonna lose your job. Call the manager.
You lose your life. Yeah.
You know, all of that. Where it's like me going in a restaurant, I'm just like, okay, listen, I don't need you to bring me new food. I just need you to know that this is not really what I ordered. I'm gonna keep it, but just can you talk to the cooks and just like let them know that okay, maybe that was a bad scenario, but
yeah,
I don't
that's a bad
like, because, okay, so let me just say this. When they give me something new and then take it off the tab. Let me say that. I don't send things back for you to take it off the tab. You know what I'm saying? They always seem to think that, to keep down the confusion, but there is no confusion. Like, I don't need you to take it off the tab. I just want what I want or what I ask for. Like, I'm not asking for free. I'm not asking for any of that. I just get what I ask for. Whereas the millennials are just like, no, I don't want this. Y'all should have been paying attention. Why I got, like, oh.
Man, nice try, Shanika, because I had an auntie who I definitely did not want to be at the table with her because she started complaining about anything that was going on. So I'll chop that up to personality. I'd love to think my generation is like that, but there's plenty of people I know who are my age who just don't really respond the way, like, they're not quick to anger. They just sit there and, oh, okay, well, I mean, to play devil's advocate, I have plenty of people my age who love to just kind of let's dissect the situation, and then I have friends who are ready to attack. Yeah, so I mean, I think it really just is personality, honestly. And as Fabian says there, what if I just have quick processing time? That have time, like, I'd be right. Maybe they feel like they're not. So I would just say hastiness, I say, is age more so than that generation. Age, maturity, sense
so
of knowing.
Are you a millennial, Amir?
Yeah, I'm a millennial.
Okay. Because I mean, there have been studies on this, and it's been shown that you guys are a lot more. You can use the word assertive or aggressive. I mean, you guys were behind all of 2020, the rioting and all that kind of stuff, where we tried to do it. Well, that was before. That was my mom's generation with Martin Luther King and all that. But it was not as progressive as when the millennials got sick of ish and took it up and did stuff. So it's been proven. They've studied the millennial mindset, and make you guys, maybe you and your friends are excluded from that group, but the majority of the millennials, yeah.
I'll say it's also technology. So I'm not saying it's not majority, but I will say that just having access to information with MLK, they had to go hard with those grassroots. It's impressive that they were able to communicate with all of those people under an oppressive system like Jim Crow, where Black people weren't even allowed to congregate in public. Like, so I'm all like, for now, I could go anywhere. Maybe I can't go to Starbucks and use the bathroom without buying a pastry without them calling the cops. But I mean, I could text my friends and say, everyone be here at this time. And we're all, anyone could say yes or no immediately. No calling, no, I had to call the house phone. Everyone has access to all the information all the time. And I think that lends to that instant gratification for millennials. I grew up with it. I remember what it was like before, and everything was a lot slower. And now, I mean, I could Google it. If you say I'm wrong about something, it's immediate. Oh, well, Google that. Right. Oh, really? No, that's not true. I Google it right now. Tell me it's true. And I mean, that's the end of the argument, right? Google wins.
Yeah.
So I just think, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Because, like Rosin says, that's why they can say the N word freely because we processing. But I also think that while we are processing, like Will and I are thinking about it, it's still wisdom that comes with that. I still think that there is wisdom that comes with us thinking before we speak. Like, and yes, even though Fabian is like, well, what if it's a quick processing time? Yes, you may have that, but I still think that when I take my time and I'm thinking it through, like, you know, when if I give my daughter, like, okay, well, what would you do? And then she tells me what she would do. And then I think about it and I'm like, okay, but look at it this way. Like, what if you look? And then she's like, okay, I get that, you know. And but if you would have just went on out there and just did whatever it was you're going to do or say whatever it was you're going to say, like it could still create this whole big situation that really is not necessary. Like if you could avoid that whole big mess or big drama if you would have just took your time and thought it through. You know, so I think that sometimes when, you know, like, because my sister is 30, and even when, I mean, our thought process is totally different. It's just totally different. And I process and think about things totally different than the way that she thinks about things. Now, and it's not that it's right or it's wrong, but our processes are still, and our thoughts are still different on how I would handle things, how I look at things, and you know, things like that. So I just think the
younger people are more quick tempered. I do think that they
we want all the smoke. I think it's true. I think I agree with that we do want the smoke, and we're willing to defend ourselves and our points to the death. Right. Yeah. And then Google will solve it at the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. So Leah said,
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Leah said it's personality. I process slowly and think before I speak, but I got some girlfriends that will curse you out real fast. Right. Right. So, I mean, and I guess it's just where you are with it. I mean, I guess it's just where you really, Fabian said, I got some aunties that want all the smoke too, though. Like my mom, like my mama is just, she is like, no, you're not gonna, no, cut it. You know, that's my mom. So I think that it has to be a calm one in the crew. Like we can't all want to smoke. You know what I'm saying? We can't.
Yeah. That's true.
That is true.
Somebody gotta bail you out. Somebody gotta be on the jail to bail you out.
Right. Are you the friend that's telling them to hold you back?
Back in, like.
I think she.
But all right, guys. This was amazing. Like this was a good show. I'm glad that we were able to talk about a lot of things and people and situations, and people was just cutting up this week, and we just need to dig into it and get into it and and talk about all these good topics. So again, we are at 125 short of having 1,000 followers on our chat. We are also if you are on Instagram, please go over to Instagram and check us out. It is the space chat. Not the word space, but it's a space. So the chat _757. And so go over to Instagram and like and follow our page over there. At some point I'm gonna figure out how to do reels, so we'll have some other stuff going on over there. And the YouTube page we also have a YouTube page, so you can go check that out. It is also the chat _757 over there as well. So please make sure you go to YouTube, follow, like our page there. And I think that's about it. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to say?
Yeah.
No, I'm hungry.
Me too.
Wait, I didn't hear. Like everybody's freezing. I can't hear what y'all saying.
I think he said he was hungry.
Yeah.
And I said me too.
Oh yeah, I ate before I came on. But all right, guys. So thank you all so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Keep the comments coming. If you're watching the replay, make sure you hit replay so we'll know how many people are catching the replay. Continue to share, follow, and like. Definitely share. We need to get our shares up. And until next week, y'all have a great week, great weekend, and we will see you all back here at the same time on Monday. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good week.
Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.